All right. Sorry about that. Welcome aboard. Let's get started with our primary live trade brief. Incredible 24 hours. I've never seen a more Gordon Gekko moment than what I saw last night in that press conference. No, James, I am not going to put the trades back up. We operate on military time here, Lombardi time. If you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. I have opened these briefs sometimes an hour early to show what's going on. And to be a good dude, that ain't part of the services you're paying for. Me opening up and working an hour before, getting a hell of a lot more than what you're paying for. I'm trying to be a good dude. So no, I'm not going to put the trades back up. You show up early. I'll put the trades back up when I get to the tactical portion of the brief. People who showed up when I tell them to show up. If you were here early, you saw that you should have seen the trades on the screen. So, all right, let's go. So, folks, Rodney. Thank you, Rodney. Let me let you guys know something. This you're going to get a little come to Jesus moment here. I'm not supposed to be working this week or trading. I'm supposed to be at Cloud9 on Aspen right now, getting shit faced. And I said last week that I was going to take this week off just to hang with my family and get my mind right. I need a sabbatical, folks. I've been busting my ass for you people. I don't want to hear any shit this week about anything because I'm not supposed to be working. I said I was going to take off this week anyway, and I'm not. So you're welcome, people. All right. So let me start with this. Jim Cramer just interviewed Nancy Pelosi. She's a human piece of feces. She is the enemy of this country. And if there's going to be civil unrest, we're at the next civil war. I'm glad the lines are so clearly drawn in this country. But let me. Cramer before that had a great take here, and I got 3 TVs working: Bloomberg, Fox Business, this. I got my Skype, my phone. I'm like an AWACS right now. But he did say something interesting. Has anybody seen Warren Buffett? Has anybody seen or heard from Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, who usually in moments like this swoops in, gives us some great, like, I'm coming in and buying and everything's fantastic and whatever? You haven't heard a word from the dude. You haven't heard, you're hearing from the Bill Ackmans with the sky is falling, and then yesterday he completely did a 180. We'll talk about that. Yeah, he's in an underground bunker. Folks, the fact that Warren Buffett isn't like swooping in right now should tell you something. What did he do at the height of the financial crisis in 2008? He came out and he bailed out. You ready for this? He bailed out Goldman Sachs. He got warrants. What did he get warrants at? 190? Somebody Google. I forget. The dude, just brilliant. Warren Buffett and I sit in the back of the movie theater. We're the guys that yell fire, and when you guys all trample each other and die, not you guys, I'm talking like regular old retail traders or investors, after the dust settles, we walk around and collect the wallets off the dead bodies. You haven't heard a word from him. Kramer's like, where is he? We need to hear from him in a moment like this. He's a smart guy. A smart guy. He might be out there like secretly acquiring positions and stuff like that, but when under Obama and he was seen, right, in a time of crisis. So he's quietly in a background. $115 for the warrants. Yeah, something like that. I forget, but it was epic. All right, so let me give you a strategic brief. So this guy's name is the Trump of the tropics. That's his call sign. Bolsonaro's the Trump of the tropics. The guy went from 2 weeks ago saying this was a hoax and a fantasy, and my political people are bringing it up, to wearing a mask in public now. This is a great read. It is a really bad read, but I read really bad, folks. I mean, this is written by people who oppose him. If you're in any EWZ position, this is a must read. Let me share this with you. After the brief, bury your face in this, because this sets the tone for cultural unrest in Brazil. They are ripping him apart, man. He called coronavirus a fantasy, but now he's wearing a mask. He's dare I say, coming unglued. Again, I know tons of people in Brazil. I know tons of people here in America that are Brazilian. and it is horrific down there. This is, you know, Bolsonaro is an extremely violent movement that holds democracy in contempt. He has made use of the niceties of representative government, but it also believes they can be discarded in the service of the movement's real goals. Blah, blah, blah. They're coming apart at the fabric down there, folks. And everybody's in a conga line right now. China was at the front, Japan, South Korea, Singapore, all those dudes. Then Italy and Spain and France. Then the United States, now Latin America. Brazil's like I'm going to say 2 weeks behind us. Okay. So, again, on a day like today, if you logged in early, what do you do on a day like today? Who's bullish right now? Who's buying right now? And this is the bottom. You don't even have to answer it, because if you are, I recommend you leave the brief right now. So here, let me give you let's go a little operational here. Here's what's going to happen. I told my Afterburner private trading thread, we were kind of live talking back and forth during the press conference yesterday. We're going to get to that in a second. I'm absolutely shocked, but I'm not shocked about what the president has decided to do. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to say this, folks. If you're just showing up, the easy money has already been made. We've made millionaires. Now we're going to do this. We get a stimulus package. We're going to have these 600, 700 up, down days, or 1,200, whatever we are right now, for a while. Not a while. I mean, a day is a while here. And then what's going to happen? That. So this, ladies and gentlemen, this was easy. Making millionaires, a lot of you becoming millionaires, some of you just in EWZ. I mean, if the SPX did that, EWZ did that. It nearly went straight down. Why do I say the easy's money been made? Because that was easy. This is going to be trading. And then that. Oh my God, Wiz, why are you saying that? Because when the data come out, folks, it's going to be horrific. And ladies, so what happens, I'm blowing my brief out of order here, but I'm on a roll. What happens Thursday morning at 8:30? What happens Thursday morning at 8:30? We get weekly unemployment claims. I'm hearing they're going to be in the millions. We got a 1,200 point rally today. I don't even answer people on my phone. They're like, "Oh, Wiz, this is it." I'm like, click, delete, block. 1 million, 2 million. We won't even remember this rally on Tuesday when breaking news at 8:30 in the morning that millions of people are out of work. I heard the same thing. 1 million people in New York City alone are going to be filing. And even if you still have your job right now, do you think you wouldn't lie to the government and go file for it because you know you're about to lose your job? Of course. So, ladies and gentlemen, once the data start coming in, it's going to be bad. Let me finish with my worldwide brief, but that's just kind of a how goes it right now of where I am. And if this was like an all clear, so look at this. This is a gap move this morning. We gapped to the upside. Why? I have no idea why we gapped to the upside. We don't have a deal yet. Remember to write this down in your book of Top Gun options and wisisms. Buy the rumor, sell the news. So even if this thing gets done today, that's the good news, folks. Yay. What else after they bankrupt the country is going to drive the market higher? So you have to use your brain on days like this. As I said in my morning brief, if you're looking at some red in your portfolio today because of some bearish trades and you're freaking out, you're doing it absolutely wrong, and you shouldn't be doing anything. So people, I'm talking to everybody in this room. I'm here to teach you how to trade, not to give you trades. That's not my job. I cannot give you individual investment advice, and I never would. But this is over. That's done. I mean, I'm going to tell you we have another 10% to go, but this is going to be last night, ladies and gentlemen, we got a line in the sand. and I'm going to brief you in a couple minutes because I got to finish internationally. But we actually have a date now. As options traders, there was a lot of uncertainty. Now we got certainty. There's a day coming up 7 days from now, and this is going to be epic. Okay. Let me brief you on this. China debuts research stations in South China Sea while the world battles coronavirus. Look at these things, folks. These are on reefs. I sailed past the Spratly Islands. These were reefs. It was beautiful. I love flying over here. Iwo Jima, I've sailed the Pacific, man. Look at this. These were Fiery Cross Reef and the Subi Reef. Look at these things. Thank you, Barack Hussein Obama. Thank you. Barack Hussein Obama took troops out of Iraq over here because he's a coward and left and said, what did he use the P word? Barack Hussein Obama said, well, we're pulling our troops out of Iraq to pivot to where? Asia, to China. You know what he did? He went and pivoted to America, destroyed the military, and didn't do shit. For 8 years under Obama, these guys grabbed ships full of dirt, sailed into the middle of the Pacific, and dropped dirt on these reefs, made runways, buildings. Look at the research facility with big national security antenna balls. They built runways, missile stations. They have literally, folks, fixed aircraft carriers in the Pacific. This is what China is doing as the world burns. You guys know I got a bunch of deep throats, man, in alphabet agencies, civilian contractors, in alphabet companies. This is what's going on behind closed doors. Like, holy shit, man. The stock market's beat down. China could come in and buy the stock market right now. They're expanding into the Pacific. This is literally a war. It is, Matthew. That's a great analogy. It is Japan in 1930. They are taking over the world at this point after getting it sick. This is an act of war. Pay no attention to what we're doing in the Pacific. This is funny, though. Did you see this interview? This guy's great. I love this journalist. He interviewed the ambassador to the United States from China. He asked this guy about this one journalist, like months ago. And he's like, he led this interview with, hey, where's that journalist right now? And the guy's like, I don't know who you're talking about. He's like, what do you mean you don't know who I'm talking about? I asked about you last time and you said you'd look into it. He's like, there's a billion people in China. I can't figure out who everybody is. Whoa. You have got to watch this interview, man. Because China now, he kind of publicly, so the foreign ministry spokesman 2 weeks ago said, yeah, we think the U.S. Army did this and they're to blame for all of our deaths in China. And now that dude's kind of walking that back. This is the first time I've seen like China diplomats in public kind of contradicting each other. Again, one of my deep throats is like, apparently the president backdoor G, so to speak. Like, hey man, you keep floating that conspiracy theory shit, I'm going to release all the intel that shows that you did it. And we will have a war. This shit's going on, guys, at the highest levels of our government. I know for a fact, unless 5, 6 different guys are lying to me. It's stunning what's going on behind the scenes. Because we were doing it on the Afterburner thread last night. I'm like, oh my God, 2 days in a row of kissing Xi Jinping's ass. But maybe a little bit not. Like, well, it started there. Here's Trump last night. I wish you had told us a couple months earlier, but whatever. We'll deal with it now. What? That dude could have a White House Oval Office brief tonight sitting at his desk going, this thing was released by China and it's destroying economically our country. I don't know why he hasn't put them out there as a boogeyman. Maybe because they've come back and said, hey, dude, you do that, and now we really are at war. This is, folks, this is all going on. If I was still in a uniform and up in a big building, this is what's going on behind closed doors, guys. Exactly. China is operating in accordance with Sun Tzu. Sorry. So I never in my wildest nightmares, thought that I would see a press conference like we did last night. For the second day in a row, Dr. Fauci was not on stage. Out of all the people on that stage on a daily basis, the only guy that I listen to has been Dr. Fauci. He's a man of science. And if you're one of these inverted Trump derangement syndrome people, you gotta question what you're doing. You got problems. He's a Clinton holdover and an Obama, blah, blah. Come on, man, for God's sake. He did. So I showed you the articles he did, or the interview he did with whoever yesterday. He's like, the reporter kept pushing him. He's like, "What do you want me to do? I'm telling him everything that I want and I know, and it's the dude ain't. He's not listening to me." Whoa. So as I said in my morning brief, last night we just saw the culmination of Microsoft's got to be happy of two battling Excel sheets. The president, who's a businessman and looking at the bottom line and going bankrupt, is saying, you know what, folks, listen, I can't even. There's actually on a chart a line that says this is the acceptable amount of deaths to avoid financial apocalypse. Battling with Dr. Fauci's spreadsheet, which says this is going to be the apocalypse if we don't do this. Yeah, he was an AIDS researcher, man. Dr. Birx is also an AIDS hero. So, and listen to me, guys. I've been taking a flamethrower to Trump lately. I'm not faulting him for this. He's right. I got friends that are blowing out in their firms and hedge funds going under and businesses. I mean, at a certain point, the president's right that the economic outlook, to be honest with you, so some old people die and some other Americans died. That's what I titled my brief this morning: The Hunger Games versus Wall Street. It really is, folks. It's come the math to the president. Essentially, he's saying, I'm abdicating my role as being in charge of this. First of all, he's made a huge mistake. I thought he did great at the beginning when he said, you know what, Mike, I'm putting you in charge of this. I got about where, I got to run the country. There ain't no running anything right now other than this. So Mike Pence, you're in charge of this, but I'm going to speak at every press conference and more or less you're nothing. That was stupid. Mike Pence does better at handling reporters' questions and is a lot more calm and measured. He's not yelling at reporters and coming unhinged. So, but it's too late. Nobody, trust me, folks, the people that I know that may or may not be part of briefs or have talked to the guy, as you get, I mean, you guys don't know anything I don't know. When you see the president, ain't nobody telling him to do anything. And even if they do, he usually does the exact opposite just to prove that you can't tell him to do anything. But at the end of the day, Dr. Fauci, as we saw that public brief the other day where Trump's like, these medicines are great, and I saved a guy. You see him yesterday? This kid, that got like treated down here in Florida with whatever, malaria, whatever crap, and he's like sang the president's praises. I just saw on the Drudge Report, 2 people died from those medicines, and the president ain't going to get on stage today and go, well, 2 people died from those. Fauci was measured, and he's like, yeah, Trump's doing I got to be the guy that gives hope, and you're like the booger eater, pocket protector slide rule guy. And him being gone for the second day, you don't have to be Gordon Gekko to understand that the president is clipping that guy to focus on getting the country running. So here's what the president is doing. Let's let New York, Washington, and California just kind of go Hunger Games. Joe, I saw that. The only reason that's the only reason Dr. Birx is still standing there is because she is kind of halfway between Trump and Fauci. He is running the country like The Apprentice. Cost of confronting pandemic can cost millions of jobs, trillions in wealth, to save potentially millions of lives. For the love of God and all things holy, read that sub-headline again. Cost of confronting pandemic is millions of jobs, trillions in wealth, lost to potentially save millions of lives. Who is the highest at risk? My fucking mother. Stage 3, whatever, lung cancer. You know where she is right now? In New York City getting treatment. She's like got a mass. Her immune system couldn't be more compromised, and she's in a COVID hotspot. Write her off, Mr. President. My Brazilian friend down here, she's got lupus, man. So we're willing to write off some Americans' lives for the economy. I can't believe I just said that. I mean, I can't even. I get it. I've war gamed stuff like this. Like, well, when it comes to the greater good, this is the Soviet Union, folks. We're going to go throw a million soldiers at the Battle of Stalingrad, and all just to suck up bullets from the Nazis so they can run out of ammo. I can't even. I can't even look at that downtown Los Angeles. So we have the president of the United States, who's a businessman, saying we're going to get the country back to work. I already have his name's on here. No, I'm not going to. There's several people on my Facebook page who have it, folks. I mean, it's remember, ladies and gentlemen, I'm no virologist, but I use math. I'm a trader. The people that are deathly ill right now got sick when? 14 days ago. The people that are on ventilators are sick from weeks ago. This 15-day ridiculous, stupid math, I love it because we have a line in the sand to trade around. The clock doesn't start, ladies and gentlemen, until the last dude or lady or kid is in their house. That's when the clock starts. Do you not understand that? The clock didn't start 3 days ago when the president said the clock started. Spring breakers who finally have left Miami, who've flown home to Nebraska, kissing their grandma and grandpa and their parents, are infected. I work in virology. You're totally on point. Thank you. So, again, I can't. It's similar. Exactly, Buzz. It is like D-Day. Lives are being sacrificed for the greater good. I've never thought in my entire. Well, now we're going to go higher. So we just busted through the higher point on the S&P. But this is all trading, guys. This is not investing. Remember, buy the rumor, sell the news. We could be 1,000 points higher from here going into the Dow. After this thing gets signed, and first of all, I got, what is it, 1,100 pages long? Election reform, solar credits, diversity, mandatory diversity on corporate boards. Are you shitting me? The Democrats, this should have been a page. I hereby give every taxpayer in this country $10,000 in their account to get us through the next 2 weeks. Signed, Donald Trump, approved by the House and the Senate. It's a disgrace. We're going to Venmo it, PayPal, or direct deposit into everybody's account. I'm a small bit. I clearly don't need the money or want it, and I'm whatever I get. I'm donating to the Top Gun Fighter Foundation. I'll show you. I get a check for $3,600, but it's not. It's going to be a pain in the ass. I've already seen some rough drafts of what small businesses are going to have to do. You ever try and do anything with the government when you need something? Don't get me started about the VA. So here is my prediction. Hong Kong. What do you mean, Wiz? I can't believe I'm going to show you a CNN headline that I agree with. I want to punch myself in the face. Hong Kong appeared to have it under control and then let its guard down, and they're getting destroyed again. People have ignored this stuff, folks. Well, South Korea and Japan and Hong Kong have flattened out. It's a lie. Read this again. Hong Kong appeared to have it under control, then let its guard down. We don't have it under control yet, folks. The Surgeon General of the United States of America said on the Today Show yesterday, this is going to be a very, very bad week. And the first question at the press conference last night was awesome. Mr. President, the Surgeon General of the United States went on Today Show today. He said, this is going to be a horrific week. Do you agree? I'm like, oh my God, please say yes. He's like, well, yeah, it's going to get bad. I'm like, phew. If he had undercut that dude at that point, that would have been it. I would have been on my Hunger Games boat to an island. So, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, trust me, the fact that it's April 1st, March 31st, April 1st. So, listen to me. What happens on April 1st besides March 31st, but what starts happening on April 1st besides very bad COVID April Fool's memes on the internet? The first, second, and third week of April are what, ladies and gentlemen? Earnings. First quarter earnings. March 31st, the quarter ends. What happens April 5th, April 9th, or whenever, when Apple comes out with earnings and blah, blah, blah? This is good. You want to talk about getting a pail of popcorn and a Diet Coke and sitting on your couch and watching? Let's watch earnings season, man. Oh my God, this is going to be epic. But another reason the president has kind of put a line in the sand with this is what? Administration to use Defense Production Act for first time in history they're 2 weeks late. The president has been dragged kicking and screaming to this. And he's going, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, he's going against the advice of people smarter than him on this because he's a businessman. There was only two ways to handle this. And I agree with the other people. Lock the country. It's a virus, man. Did anybody not have biology in high school? It's a living thing, folks. It jumps from people it wants to live. It's got rights. Nancy Pelosi is adding in the stimulus bill that virus have rights too. You starve it of its supply, Governor DeSantis, not shutting down the beaches. Yeah, no biology. We got diversity training. So here's the deal. On March 31st, the president of the United States is going to be standing in one of those press conferences, and he's going to say one of two things. And I'm going to guarantee you what he says, unless he changes who he is for 70 years. He's going to stand up and get America back to work. That's what I was rambling about. I got the shiny red ball of people all over my Facebook page like I'm sick and what. So this one guy, well, you guys don't know him. I mean, it's on Facebook, so it's kind of public. Because I want you to read what people are telling. This is how stupid people are. I feel really bad for the guy. So you got to read all this stuff. I'm doing this without freaking out, please. I'm having trouble breathing, airways clogged due to uncontrollable cough that started lingering, as well as strong chest pains and a lot of nasty phlegm. Had a really rough time sleeping it off. Headaches, body ache that come and go. Not sure if I had a fever at some point. A cold that just keeps getting worse. Rough vocals. Ibuprofen and cough medicine are only helping so much. Common cold, please advise. Not meant to cause panic, just looking for advice. Holy shit, there are stupid people. Go to the hospital. Stop ibuprofen immediately. Go to the hospital. Hospital. Go to the hospital. Where is it? There's one smart person. Do not go to the hospital. Where am I? Here's me. Do not go to the hospital unless you really have to. You do not need to get tested. Does everybody understand that? The stupidity of reporters in this country. When can you guarantee that every person in America will have a test? That's the dumbest thing in the world. I got a best friend that's an ER. I have doctor friend. There's doctors on here. It doesn't matter if you get tested. People have no idea what they're talking about. First of all, if you go to the hospital and get tested, you're definitely going to get sick, since that's where all the sick people are. Duh. And if you test positive, the only thing they're going to tell you to do is go home and self-quarantine. That's all they're going to do, folks, at a hospital right now. They're going to test you and then get you the results, and they're like, hey, yeah, you got it. Stay at home. What? The test does nothing but tell you what you already probably know. They will not admit you unless you're deathly sick. Do not listen to people telling you to go to the hospital. That is exactly the opposite of what every doctor, nurse, and PA has told me. And if you did go to the hospital along the way, you could be infecting other people. If people are sick with this, they're supposed to be quarantined. People are like, oh, I'm in a 15-day quarantine. I'm like, why? Because you have it? No, no, folks. The guidelines are you should be self-distancing and social distancing, whatever it's called. We are really confused on terms here, ladies and gentlemen. Where's what I posted yesterday? Get the terms right. People do not know what they're talking about. The terms are, where is it? Let me find it. Right here. This is on my Facebook page. Terminology lesson of the day. Social distancing equals people who have not been exposed to the virus. Quarantine. People have been exposed and don't have symptoms. Or people who think they have the virus and have tested positive for the virus is self-isolation. Those are the terms. Okay. Again, there's a lot of stupidity out there. The only reason to go to the hospital, ladies and gentlemen, is if you can't breathe, and that's the problem with not having ventilators. If you're deathly ill, you go to the hospital. If you think you have it, you don't. Use your brains, guys. U.S. reports largest jump in COVID cases. Holy shit. 10,000 new cases. It's the largest jump yet. So the day after the president's press conference of, I want to get America back to work, we are doing that. Hopefully we do this and flatten the curve out and it goes away. But let me get back to my question. On March 31st, knowing the president as well as you do, the man is not going to step up. In the 3 years, and my sister's known him for 20, 25 years, and I've confirmed this with her, she has never heard the man say, you know what, I was wrong. I got that one wrong. Of course, on March 31st, if he was wrong, he is going to throw the medical professionals under the bus and say, well, but he's not. That's not going to happen, in my opinion. He is looking at this like running a business and The Apprentice. He has looked at the Excel sheet and said, so we lose some old people and some people that were sick anyway. It'll make our country stronger. I'm not shitting you. But that's just not the case, folks. You look at Italy. Italy and France are saying, by the way, it's a lot of people under 30 and they're getting really sick too and they're dying. JW, I have no idea, man. They said they'd reevaluate on March 31st and the announcement would be April 1st. I don't know that. The president has drawn a line in the sand saying we will. What do you think is going to happen on March 31st? They're going to evaluate all day and not tell us? That's going to cause panic. People, all the traders, everybody I've talked to today, again, another 5 o'clock in the morning type of thing. I've gotten pretty damn good reviews from this to this and then that, either on March 31st or because of just horrific macroeconomic data. So I think it's a March 31st press conference. So we'll look at disaster puts out to March 31st here. I hear that too. I hear that New York City hospitals are saying, yeah, this week and the next 2 weeks, guys. So the next 2 weeks, the president is banking. Well, shit, that's 7 days away. I just don't. Let me lead with my standard whiz when talking about horror. I want to be wrong. The images yesterday of the Javits Center in New York City with thousands of National Guard troops in there making it a field hospital is medieval. I hope, I haven't used that word in a while, I pray, I hope, definitely haven't used pray in a while, that by next Tuesday, every National Guardsman in that building is sitting there with their thumb up their ass and looking at the TV cameras going, we averted the big one. Fantastic. Dump all the bearish positions and buy with both hands, and we'll all buy jets together. I don't see that happening. Italy, ladies and gentlemen, they're letting people over 60 die, essentially. Does anybody know what Italy started at initially? I'm telling you, folks. So Italy did what Trump is going to do. Let's see if I can do this somewhat. There's Italy. There's the boot. You know what Italy did? Oh my God, there's some towns in the north and some ski areas that have it. Kind of quarantined. Oh, the Lombardy region, shut that down. Well, shit, it's moving to there. And oh, for Christ Almighty, and the whole country shut down. Italy, ladies and gentlemen, we are 2 weeks behind Italy, and Trump is going to do what they did in Italy. Does anybody get that? The number started at 80, folks. I remember weeks ago when I was focused on China and this and everything, as it started to break out in Italy, I heard the stories. Ski areas are sick, and we closed the ski areas. The towns are sick. We're locking. Now you have videos and news reports coming out of Italy of army trucks full of caskets, blah, blah, blah. It went down to 70. Nobody over 70 is getting intubated or getting a ventilator. Then it's now down at 60. What do we hear next week? Anybody over 50? This is New York City, folks. Again, we're 2 weeks behind Italy. Exactly, Jonathan. The U.S. has the same number of cases as Italy did 3 days ago. Hospital, yeah, Karen. This 60 number. Do you think we just magically shit out a bunch of ventilators yesterday? They're rolling off the. No, man. We're like Kramer on the back of the fire engine with this thing. We are holding on to the back of the airplane right now. I live in. You know what? I live in what I used to jokingly call God's waiting room in Boca Raton. I'm not going to call it that again. It's not funny anymore. There is a shitload of people. I'm 51, man. There's a shit. I know I'm getting a ventilator based on the amount of weapons and ammo I have in my house, but 60-year-old people in Boca Raton? Sometimes Susie and I go out to dinner at some places. We're like, we're the youngest people in here. You want to talk about civil unrest? New York's already talking about this. Hospitals trying to figure out how they would ration ventilators as coronavirus cases rise in New York. Guys, and this is going to be true, folks. This came out Sunday night in the Wall Street Journal, and I literally did a victory dance, man. I ran around. I was out in the backyard. I'm like, this was a Ricky Bobby moment. The worst of the global sell-off isn't even here yet. Banks and investors warn. Wall Street is only now coming to grips with this. Guess what? Wall Street, Top Gun Options beats you by 2 months. Wall Street. Trust me, man. I talk to a lot of so-called smart money throughout the day. You're a lot smarter than them. This came out last night. Lying in bed, U.S. domestic passenger flights could go to zero. Voluntarily shutting down by government order. How do we keep this contained to Washington State, to San Fran, Los Angeles, New York City, Chicago, when they are, folks, I can't even find the article. Remember 2 months ago, I told you a buddy of mine, Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base, Fort Worth. Dude, I just got an order from the Secretary of Defense to reach into the bottom drawer all the way to the back and pull out my pandemic plan since we're close to DFW. How do you contain a virus when people are still jumping on airplanes to fly? Well, not a lot of them are. If one person leaves New York City who's got it and flies to Sioux City, Iowa, it's shocking. Marty, Boca did do that. Boca shut down the beaches and stuff like that, but they didn't shut down the Boca Lake, folks. But you want to see? I ripped the mayor a new one. I think he finally blocked me on Facebook, the mayor of Boca Raton, because he's a coward. On the morning of September 11th, folks, you know what I did? I saw the attacks. I raced out to the air station, grabbed one of my squadron mates. We ran next door to hang out with the F-16 guys in their command post to brief and get airborne. You know where my commanding officer was? He was on a Delta flight, airborne. Was I going to wait? Was I going to wait for orders? It was what was it, Lexington and Concord, man. 4 F-16 guys, 2 Hornet guys. You know what? Unfortunately for my buddies in the Marine Squadron, they came over with an idiot. He was the operations officer. The guy is a human piece of feces. I'll never forget that guy. And the general, the 1-star general in command of that fighter wing, the 4 Marines came in. He's like, all right, guys, what do you got? How many airplanes? You ready to go? He's like, wow, well, General, we need to talk to Mar Force Reserve and our commanding. He's like, I don't have time for that shit. Are you in or out? He's like, well, I can't. And then he turned away from him and started talking to me and the F-16 guys. All right, we'll get you guys armed. We're getting fuel first. And the Marines just kind of slinked out of the 3 other dudes are my best friends. They were mortified. This was the beaches were closed. I saw like a dude walking on the beach with his dog. This was a human shit show. Look at this. Zoom in here. There's about 16 boats right there, all tied up. I zoom in. Oops, sorry. Let me get rid of the magic marker. You hear them? You probably don't hear the music. It was an absolute party. So here's why I'm on this little bit of a rant, because the mayor of Boca said, well, technically I don't own Lake Boca. The Florida Department of Wildlife or Fisheries and the Coast Guard and everybody was pointing everybody. The Coast Guard said, well, technically the state has. I'm like, you're all a bunch of cowards. Sorry about that. I said, you're all a bunch of cowards. Look at this. I said, if you're not in charge of a waterway in Boca, who is? I think he blocked me. I'm like, now is the time to act. He's like, his post was, I'm talking to the governor and this, and I'm waiting for, and the Coast Guard and the Florida, order the Boca Raton Police Department to clear that space. Well, it's a federal waterway and I don't, shut up. Stop talking and execute. Here's the video. Look at this right here. I counted 17 boats all tied up. Look at that. Look at the people on the boats. It's packed. Look at over here. Right there. There was about 9 boats all tied up. Why am I ranting about this? Because this is our government right now, folks. People pointing at other people saying, well, I think the Coast Guard and the Florida and I'm talking to the governor and that I don't control. You take control of it to save lives. Anyway, why was I ranting about that? Oh, because of passenger flights and stuff like this. How can we contain this virus? Finally, Governor DeSantis of Florida yesterday said absolutely no flights or anybody allowed into this state from New Jersey or New York, which I think is fantastic because there'll be no traffic. I hope he keeps that rule in effect for when we get out of this. I'm from Jersey. So, John, if Trump clears the way to go back outside on 31 March, do we get a brief pop because everyone thinks it's a good thing? Folks, that was the other thing I was going to share on my Facebook page, wherever it is, or on the main page. People think that based on his press conference, it's okay to go outside right now. That he's like, we're going to start opening up the country. I have people who think that it's over. I'm not shitting you. There's bartenders. I got a massive Facebook following and people on here. People are, there's a picture in Italy, folks. That pic is from Italy. 99% of those who have died were elderly and had underlying health issues. How has the shutdown in Italy for a month worked for them? Since you mentioned it, can you please show, whatever. There you go. There's Italy, folks. But no, I don't care about 31 March right now. We'll get to that when we look at some trades in a minute here. People are already thinking it's. My son came down this morning. I'm like, where are you going? He's like, we're going back to work. I'm going surfing. I'm like, get the So the president's press conference last night, if you were semi-intelligent or not intelligent, you kind of heard it as the president wants everybody to get back to work or as quick as we can to save the economy. I can't believe. So here we go. Here we go, folks. Is day the fifth? I said this the other day, man. I'm like, the president is, counting down days. I'm like, counting out. There is no 15-day clock until it's shut down, but he doesn't want to shut down. All right, enough ranting about. I can't. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we have in the future a date. I love having a date as an options trader. It's right there. It's 31 March. We will reevaluate 7 days from now whether or not to continue this stuff. I'm not in the business of predicting. I can't even, any people doing predictions right now on numbers is just insane. I think Muhammad Al-Arian, brilliant guy, he's like, I think all the economists need to kind of shut up at this point. Nobody, there's no, math has departed. This is the first time in my life I think I'd ever say that math is over with for the time being. People are talking about PE, price to earnings ratio. There aren't any earnings, folks. There's zero. Who is it? Delta burning $50 million. They're not bringing in a penny right now. They're spending money. They're spending money like a drunk sailor, and I am familiar with that term. But on Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, the weekly unemployment claims number, I can't put something right here. My point being is, whatever the number is, nobody's going to say, oh, wow, that looks low, right? Brian, they are trying to cremate those bodies in Italy. Did you not? I thought I shared this with everybody. Jack Prosebic, however you say his name. My God, did you not see uh, the video and the interview from this one guy? How do you spell that guy's name? Are they not? Are they blocking this guy for me? I wouldn't doubt it. I can't wait for Twitter to go tits up. I can't stand this company. I can't stand Facebook, Twitter. I hear Donald Trump Jr. is working on competing Posobiec, P-O-S. Yeah, that's it. Let's see if I can find this, folks, because you have to watch it. I thought I sent this out to everybody. Maybe it was just the Afterburner folks. Literally patient zero of contagion acting like this is all just a break for working people. Gwyneth Paltrow. Where is it? Yeah, man dies after taking malaria medication touted by Trump as possible cure. But the only thing he said in his press conference yesterday was this Anthony, sleeps with the fishes. This guy in Florida, he took the drug that I said he could and he lived. What about the dude that died? I'm going to take the time to find this. Spain, 38 days ago, February 14th, director of their health. In Spain, we do not have COVID-19. The population must understand there's no risk. These people, I hope he lives to regret what he said. We're going to find the video. I'm going to sit here and show it to you. There's no reason to even look at the market right now. If I wasn't talking to you right now, I would have placed all those bearish trades I placed this morning, and I'd be outside or going for a run right now and avoiding everybody. I'm not going forward. Everybody just take a break. I'm going to find this. Because it shows this guy in Italy running a crematorium, and you can't even believe what's going on. Or I don't know. It's on here. Somebody in the Afterburner group, please find that video that I sent and repost it on here so I can show people. Scroll up in the Afterburner thread because it's there. Sorry to America for bringing the Chinese virus to America. Sorry for being silent about what the Communist Party has done. God bless you, lady. Somebody find it? Let me look in the chat box here. No. All right. Well, oh, this is still from yesterday. Dude, this guy's on fire. Anyway, guys, I will just tell you, it's a video of a mortuary owner, and the caskets are all over the floor, up to the ceiling. He's like, we can't burn these bodies fast enough. Somebody Google it, man. Like Italian crematorium or something like that. You have to watch it. The guy's like in tears, and we're 2 weeks behind him. All right, I am going to move on. I'm wasting time. India just went on lockdown. Oh man. But anyway, Jack Posabek, however you say his name, scroll through this thread and watch this video. It's the most sobering thing I've seen since the Wuhan. Cops guarding toilet paper. Well, thankfully, the bailout bill is going to be 1,100 pages, so Nancy Pelosi has enough toilet paper to get her around. Yeah, and the whole China is out of this thing, clearly it's a lie. Here's a dude. You see the videos on social media, guys, of teenagers coughing on produce in the stores. Look at this jackwad. Shrek, is that the video? Shrek, go put it over in the Afterburner thread, because I can't copy links into from this chat box for whatever reason. If you can do that for me, bro, that'd be great. Hold on. All right, so yeah, so and if this was the rally, folks, we'd be up 2,000 points. This is a perfect opportunity to sell into it. Remember, buy the rumor, sell the news. Okay, so let's start looking through positions. There's a big sell order. Okay, so the high of the day is like 2340, or 2400. Sorry. Yeah, I saw that. Paul Gilead suspended that emergency drug screening. I got to read more into that. Where is it, Shrek? Post it in here, bro. Anyway, all right. So what else do I have to talk about? Oh, here's what's funny. We sat here last week when Bill Ackman was right. Everybody called Bill Ackman wrong. It's just the flu people. Bill Ackman said hell is coming last week. He was right. He nailed it. He's like, I self-quarantine or social distancing. I'm not going to see my grandparents. The guy had the please don't put the link in the chat box for this thing. I can't copy it, guys. And I'm not going to sit here and type in each letter. Somebody post it over in the Afterburner thread, please. Bill Ackman was great. Ro, why do you use SPX into SPY? Ro, you haven't watched the Afterburner trading clearly. Folks, that is answered in your full throttle training. Why do I trade SPX over SPY? I think I said it a million times. If you have not, I can tell just, and you guys wouldn't even believe how many questions I've been ignoring so far in the chat box by stuff, and I'm doing a better job today, trust me. If you have not watched the full throttle training videos, you're a fool. I will always trade SPX. I will never trade SPY, and that is answered in a video, so I'm not going to answer it again. Thank you, Shrek. My brother Shrek. Oh, I don't have my camera on. Yeah, I can turn it on. Everybody, this is it. This is the most sobering thing. We saw the Wuhan videos, guys. We knew this was coming. Christian, I'll talk about Ackman in a second here. Let me just, Shrek found, yeah, I got it. All right, so, yeah, well, no, here's why. Let me turn my camera on. So let's take a little bit of a break for a second, and you guys, you can watch it in a second here. So here, it's actually on my wall, Shrek. So check this out. Look at this. See that 10-year-old? This way. See that 10-year-old kid? That's me. God, I was good looking. Look at Shrek, the guy right next to me, folks. That's Shrek. So that's the guy you're seeing in the chat box. Smart dude, Marine guy, great American. hopefully he's supposed to have a change of command coming up here out in beautiful Yuma. He's going to be the commanding officer of VMX-1, which is the Marine Test and Evaluation Squadron. I mean, it's the most elite. Uh, it's tied for like the Marine Weapons School for being the most elite command in the Marine Corps. So that's part of your company on here. But yeah, Shrek and yeah, of course, Shrek and I were classmates at Top Gun. God, Shrek, you weren't that bad looking either, man. What happened? Man, you let yourself go. Okay. You don't have to watch that video now. Watch the video. Yeah, a lot more hair. Both of us. You got to watch that video, folks. It's the saddest thing we've seen since Wuhan. I can't even, I can't. Look. Well, we'll watch it together because the president is trying to tell us, everything's fantastic. And you don't have to listen to it because there's like subtitles because the dude's speaking Italian. My Italian ain't so good. I'm from Jersey. I can talk. What's the matter, you? I can speak Italian. All right, well, that ain't working. Or is it? There you go. Look at this. Those were human beings, folks. Well, the guy used to have subtitles, but there's nowhere to put the bodies. Watch this after this. We are 2 weeks away from this, guys. 2 weeks away. Yeah, he is saying that younger people are going to die. Exactly. Watch the subtitles, folks. All right, but anyway, um, it's absolutely heartbreaking. So all right, so again, trading something like this. Let me start with step zero right now, especially for the new folks. One more time, I'm going to say this. This was easy. And I'm sorry if you lost a shit pot of money, but you got a crash dose in the stock market. For every buyer that was buying into this stupid FOMO rally, how many times did I say, dude? I said we will have a mid-January pullback and a February implosion. Nailed it. No way on God's green earth I would have predicted it was because of a pandemic. It was going to be something. And it was a pandemic. So for everybody that was getting bullish up here, a guy like me was like, I can't wait for the music to stop. I'm going to pound the shit out of this thing. That's done. The initial easy money has been made. Why am I stressing this? Because we're going to do this, but up and downs, and then that, especially if that's March 31st and the president has changed in his 77 years of whatever on this earth and goes, you know what? Based on the advice of my medical professionals, we're going to extend the 15 days. Boom. At this point, guys, I think it's a coin flip what he does. Why do I think it's a coin flip? Well, he's going to have another 7 days of data and stuff. I think it's a coin flip because of his personality, not because of we could have rioting in New York City, and the dude's going to probably just go, okay, what about the money? Where's my Excel sheet? I'm not shitting you, folks. I don't care if the Surgeon General next Monday morning on the Today Show is like, wow, this week's going to be even worse. Trump, remember, folks, this whole pandemic, I said we will get, what have I called it? PF. What's PF? Pandemic fatigue. There will be a point where things get so bad where people just tune it out. Like, I can't. All right, so another 1,000 people dead in New York City. It ain't me. We will suffer from pandemic fatigue. And that's going to be bad. Why am I mumbling about this? Because right now, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to do that. Nothing. Especially if you just got your I love Bill Paxton from Aliens. I don't think you've been keeping up on current events, man, but we just got our asses kicked. If you just got your ass kicked, do not do a damn thing right now. I'm warning you, especially if you don't have the stomach for, oh my God, there's a lot of red in my portfolio. I better bail out of these. And shit, I shouldn't have because now they're it would have been rich. Stop, sit on your hands, get some popcorn, and watch or don't watch TV. Don't do it, folks. I'm telling you not to do it. I'm getting these desperate emails from people like, I really need your help. I'm like down to this, and that's all I got. I'm like, oh my God, man. Revenge trading or trading right now to try and recover what's lost, you will lose everything. I'm warning you. Do not do it. I'm turning people away that are writing me like that. I'm like, I'm not going to, here, I am going to help you by not helping you. I'm down to my last this. I'm like, oh, stop. If we're not at a bottom yet, which I don't think we are, we're relatively close, guys. Nobody's going to pick this perfectly, man. We're going to try, but we got to believe in America. Oh, that's what I want to do. Go back to Bill Ackman. So Bill Ackman last week, I could not. I was standing up singing the Battle Hymn of the Republic as the guy talked. If you haven't watched the Bill Ackman interview from last week, you're a failure. You have got to watch the entire brief from last week. Scott Wapner, the judge on CNBC, was stunned at what he was hearing. The he was crying. His voice was cracking. He's like, hell is coming. The president needs to shut this down. I mean, it was 15 minutes of somebody. I'll give it to you right now. If you're here right now as a TGO member and you haven't watched the Bill Ackman video, you're a failure. And I mean that for the full weight and force that it hits you with. 6 days ago. This is your main homework if you haven't watched it. People asking for the link. You didn't do your homework. Here's the link. Tell me how you feel after you watch this video. Go post it in the Ready Room. I want to see how people feel who haven't watched this yet. I get it if you're a new member and you didn't get the chance to watch it. But that if you're a new member and you didn't get a chance to watch this, that tells me that you didn't do what I said and go watch the previous briefs. Do not show up here right now today, guys, looking for trades and trying to. You're going to blow out and you're going to lose every penny. You're here to get trained. The link's in the chat box. You have got to watch this Bill Ackman video because from last week, shut it down now, Mr. President. Shut everything down. In an emotional interview, he said we need a 30-day shutdown. What's scaring the American people and corporate America now is this gradual rollout. We need to shut it down now. His voice was cracking. The guy, he's a multi-billionaire hedge fund. Yeah, guys, I've seen it. India's closed. India just closed its country. Yeah, exactly. The United States. Here's a great headline for the market being up 1,400 points. America to become the epicenter of coronavirus. And here we have the president saying, Nebraska, the Midwest is fine. Let's just let the coastal elites die. It's going to spread, folks. Did you see the coronavirus map? I wanted to save it. You ready? Let me draw this little stick figure. One dude to 1, 2, 3 dudes to 9 dudes. The next line down here, folks, is like a million. If one gives it to 3, it's math, guys. That math isn't broken. I'm talking math of like P&E and earnings, and that math is destroyed. Remember to mention the VIX in a couple minutes. It's talking about broken things. 1 to 3 to 9 to 27. Somebody tell me what that last number is. Obviously, it goes to infinity, but I saw a nice little chart. It was on my social media. A doctor posted. He's like, if we don't do this, it's 1 to 3, it goes all the way down like to some insane number. Did he just say that? Hold on. Let me look at my other thread here. I got like a hedge fund and institutional thread, and I got my TGO folks, and I throw shit over the fence immediately. Governor says what? Governor says hospitals are overwhelmed. This hasn't even really started yet. Folks, now you know why we have the Mercy and the Comfort being deployed. 1,000 beds. I'm listening. Everybody just kind of listen to the governor. Actually, listen to the guy who most likely will be the president of the United States. New York governor says rate doubling every 3 days. So tell me, Mr. President, next Tuesday at this time, how you can open this country and force people back to work. Jesus God almighty. There goes the market. Apex could be 14 to 21 days away. The president gave us a week. We're going to get puts on April 1st, disaster puts on. I get them on now before we start imploding on Como. Get them now while they're cheap. 14 to 21 days. By 100%. Remember, we have 53,000 beds. We need 140,000 beds. Jesus Christ. Did increase it by 100%. You'd only be at about 100,000 beds. 140,000 beds. They're going to start using hospitals and dorms. There's the orders, guys. They're on the screen. I have no problem using the dormitories all across our state campuses, our CUNY campuses, our state university campuses. You're clearly not watching Governor Cuomo's press conference. When do we start nibbling, Wiz? You want to nibble on 14 to 21 days of hell in New York City? Nibble on stocks. They're going to be nibbling on zombies, folks. I'm watching Governor Cuomo on Fox. Everybody watch Governor Cuomo on Fox right now. I'm listening to this. I'm not going to be talking. I'm listening. To work for 14 days consecutive or around the clock shift. So we'll need a backup reserve staff and equipment. Guys, take us. There's a little camera on your viewing. Take a picture of this, folks. I need to look at the market. Take a picture of take a screenshot. Again, more people who haven't watched the Getting Started video. Yep. For these people. This is a piece of equipment that in the normal course of business, you don't have a need for high levels of ventilators. And our hospital system has about 3,000 or 4,000 that has always met the need. This is a dramatic increase in the number of ventilators that we need. We have been working dramatic increase in the ventilators. No, I'm not going to go back to the order screen just to spite people who aren't listening. Enough. My God, man. Shouldn't have opened up to more people. Real quick, guys, it was very interesting because Como yesterday said, hey, man, this could take months and 6 months, 9 months to get through this thing. And Trump last night, without naming him, tried to smack this guy down. I went out to the 27th for some puts, guys, because Thursday morning, I said earlier in the brief at 8:30 in the morning, we're going to get the most disgustingly bad weekly options, weekly unemployment claims we've ever seen in history. That's why I went to the 27th. I'm going to add more out to April 1st. Let me finish listening to the governor. I'm not going to speak again. Now he's punting back to Trump on the ventilators needed from the federal government. Jeffrey, I'm hearing that too. Jennifer Zhang has videos on her Twitter of Chinese people being turned away from the hospital because they might have the virus and they don't want to report new cases. China is not out of this, guys. It's a lie. I showed you a video the other day of the vice premier walking around a town, and the people were yelling from the windows that it's a lie, don't believe them. Look at the VIX climbing a little bit. This market is holding up on hope, man, and this guy's preaching New York's slowly dying. Charles, we talked about that yesterday in Solo Amazon. I actually did get long Amazon and XLY. So we are getting long some stuff. If you're not in the Solo Amazon or service, you need to email support and sign up. Elizabeth Tucker did do that last night. That interview was good. Yeah, China is turning people away from hospitals to not report new cases. Let's use our brains, man. Secretary Azar runs an agency called HHS Health and Human Services. I asked the secretary, look at the first word in the title of the agency you run. It is health. Your first priority is health. You have 20,000 ventilators in the stockpile. But a federal agency saying, I'm going to leave the ventilators in the stockpile. Oh. I mean, have we really come to that point? Ooh. That's an arrow to Trump. Wow. He's lighting Trump up right now, guys. Thank you, Elizabeth. You're welcome. 25,000. The problem that California has. Wow. That Washington State has. You prioritize resources and your activity and your There's the next president of the United States. I hate the guy. I don't hate anybody. I can't stand the guy. That's on a political ad. We're watching history unfold. I can't wait for Trump's press conference today. Yep. Ooh. Look at the last bullet point on his slide. I will transport them myself. That's a leader. That is absolutely a leader. Andrew Cuomo is potentially the next president of the United States. Period. Wow. Wow. Myself. If I was on Donald Trump's staff right now watching this, I would be in absolute full panic. Holy shit. He's good. That's potentially the next president of the United States, Jack. Can't stand the guy politically, but when it comes to this, he's running circles around the president. It's an embarrassment. Study your options. That's my boy Jack. Oh, here it comes. What's he going to do? Wow. Are you watching this, folks? This is history. Whoa. Oh my God, man. A smarter approach. I am so glad we're watching this together. Holy shit. This is history in the making. Oh my God, my phone's blowing up. Everybody's watching this more or less. Everybody on that institutional and hedge fund thread is going apeshit. Donald Trump's got to be sitting there. Cut me, Mick. He's like Rocky. Wow. Jerry, how does Como get to be the next president over Biden? A brokered convention. If you're a Democrat right now and you saw Joe Biden yesterday mumbling before he got into a car, his staff pushed him in a car. He didn't even know what he was saying. At the convention, super delegates and shit like that, they will make it happen. If I were a Democrat, I'm voting for Andrew Cuomo for president. You got it, Pam. That's a great way to put it. This is a 9/11 moment. No, there's the headline. No American will choose the economy over public health. The president is choosing the economy over. He's saying that. Guys, we'll talk about the market in a second. This is a hover on hope of the buy the rumor, sell the news. Not please don't ask. If you don't know why we're hovering right now, you shouldn't be trading. This guy's good. This guy is good. Joseph, I'd say it just like you did, Joseph. He has a plan. Trump doesn't. Trump's doing the whole, we'll figure it out March 31st. Alejandro, I'm hearing that too. He might be the running mate. But Joe Biden did the diversity bullshit. Joe Biden already said, if nominated, I will nominate a woman. And so did Bernie. So there's got to be a woman on the ticket, because we don't want the best person. Not saying it's not a woman. We only want a woman. But if Andrew Cuomo does the standard Democrat identify for a day as a woman, he can appoint him. So the president is trying to, move from telling you it was a great day for stocks to now I'm a wartime president. I used to tweet daily about the market. Now I'm a wartime president. He's not. That's a wartime president. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, the White House is in full panic. I got to take a picture of that. Go back. What am I going to do with 400 ventilators? I need 30,000. Do you guys not understand this? God, I got to rewind that. I've got to take a screenshot of that. I've never seen anything like this, folks. I'm a student of politics. This is insanity. Mike Como, guy who starts a webinar 15 minutes early, Trump. Those not listening to Wiz experts. Exactly. I can't even. If you're Mike Pence or Donald Trump right now watching this, I feel bad for the president and the vice president. Folks, ignore the market, man. This is trading. This is a bunch of hedge funds and institutions who bought at the open and they're going to slam it, buy the rumor, sell the news. How do you have an up market when the governor of 8.3 million people just said 400 ventilators, I need 30,000? You want to get bullish here? You buy with both hands. Start nibbling. And I'll sell it to you. This is what's comical: is CNBC isn't showing Governor Cuomo. So people who are stupid, who just watch CNBC for trade ideas, is not seeing this press conference. And they probably, CNBC is good with the cheerleaders. They probably have some dude on there talking about, I'm nibbling down here. When you got the governor of 8.4 million people going, we're going to get destroyed. Wow. He's Italy. He's doing the Italy thing. Hey, America, you're 2 to 3 weeks behind me. A week from now, the president wants to go back to work. Jesus Christ, listen to that sentence. Oh my God, this thing is blowing up. Everybody's saying the same thing. That's one of the takeaway lines. My God, man. Oh, Ken, that's a bad one. I think you might be right. Trump 2020, make America sick again. Mazza. David, ex-fighter pilot with poli-sci background. You're the perfect analyst for this moment. This is his coming down the escalator moment, just like Trump did. Wow. This guy's great. I can't stand him, folks. Partial birth abortion, tax and spend. He's an awful, but this is it. This is real leadership. Can't stand him. And let's not bullshit each other, folks. The media can't stand Trump, so of course they yell questions at him and walk him into an ambush. And he looks like shit. Nobody's saying a word. Even at the end, they're not going to throw spears at him. I'm calling it as I see it. Trump is an idiot who walks into a reporter's ambush. Instead of hitting it out of the park, he takes the bat and beats up the reporter. This guy is fantastic. Celia, that's a great point. You think Trump can do this without a script? The guy's awful off the prompter. I got to say it like it is. I'm no dyed-in-the-wool partisan, man. I can't stand Donald Trump. I think he's a narcissist sociopath. I liked the policies until this. This is leadership. Look, he's getting emotional about the healthcare workers. Wow. I can't even. I'm so glad we're watching this together. This man is empathetic. Donald Trump has zero empathy. He's a narcissist that has zero empathy. They are empathy sponges. They'll suck your empathy out. Exactly. If Trump comes out this afternoon in a press conference and berates this guy or puts him down, that's the end of the Trump presidency. He did yesterday. He didn't name him. This guy yesterday is like, it's going to be months until the fall. 9 months. Trump yesterday. People who say that are stupid. Ray, I answered that 20 minutes ago. What is holding this market up right now? That's good news. Everybody. Como's going to be the next president. If I can make it here. Oh. Wow. Oh my God. That was probably one of the best speeches I've heard in a long time. Wow. Okay. So now, yeah, that was like that the DNC has got to be salivating. That was it. That was the end of the Trump presidency right there. There was like 3 different takeaway sentences. I couldn't keep up with all of them. He could not have drawn a line in the sand any more darker between himself and the president. Here's the last takeaway line. This is not about the 95% who make it and are alive. This is about the poor. It was the damn Statue of Liberty speech. It's about the poor, the downtrodden, the less fortunate who are going to get killed, blah, blah, blah. Holy shit. Trump last night. It's a business. We got to get back to work. So we lose a couple people. Holy shit, man. That was historic. And we lived through it. Wow, man. Yeah, that was a love wins end of the speech. You should become the mayor of Boca. You know how many, everybody's telling me to run for office. You know how many people I'd have to kill? Or actually, based on some of the politicians today, I could open my closet and all the skeletons would fall out and there probably wouldn't be as bad. Well, some of them. I've never seen anything like this live. I'm glad we were here together. Now let's talk about this. After watching that, if you still, for people who are asking on the markets, buy calls, get bullish. Buy everything with both hands right now, and I'll sell them to you, and I'll laugh when you're broke. Did you not see the slide that said, and I'll do my best Como impersonation, 400 ventilators? I need 30,000 ventilators. I'll go drive and get them myself. The guy's got 400 ventilators and he needs 30,000? Here's the other takeaway. We're you, America. We're 2 to 3 weeks ahead of you. This is coming for you. Markets up. If you think that this is the bottom and we get a stimulus package and the market rips its face off and we're at the bottom, I think you're completely smoking crack. Then trade what you believe. Don't trade what I'm doing, folks. I'm not here to throw trades at you, man. I'm here to teach you to use your brain. If you just watched that and said, Trump's right, next Tuesday we're going to get back to business in America, I think you're a fool, but I don't care at the end of the day. You fly and fight your own airplane. The best part about being an options trader, folks, is what? You can do the exact opposite. You can, as many of you have learned who are broke right now, there was somebody on the other side of your bullish trade for the past 2 months. This guy and a lot of us. But right now, if you're listening to me and bearish, and why is EWZ up? And oh my God. Folks, it's Tuesday. I bought puts out to tomorrow. Buy the rumor. Yay, we get a I don't even know if we're going to deal. You hear Nancy Pelosi? Jim Cramer, can you swear to us, madam, that you will have something today? She's like, well, it depends. Oh my God, people. My deep throat said Wednesday, maybe even Friday. But now they're stroking pretty hard in the Senate to get it done. If you have 2 choices right now, to listen to Trump last night or listen to Andrew Cuomo. That's why, if you logged in early, you saw at the opening pop, I added bearish everything. I could be completely wrong and lose some money. But based on my commit criteria, there was my commit criteria. My commit criteria is 2 things. Trump's press conference and that one. The guy says we don't have enough hospital beds. We don't have enough ventilators. That was the Bill Ackman speech, but calm. He was more or less saying hell's coming to New York City. Okay, so went way too long, clearly, because we watched that press conference. But I added to all of my bearish positions, and I would not be nibbling at anything. Anything. I don't want to listen to the questions, to be honest with you. Do you think the plunge protection team is buying with both hands right now? No, guys. No. Folks, the Fed's done. The Fed literally doesn't have anything. The Fed can't do anything right now. They dropped a nuclear bomb yesterday. If the Federal Reserve didn't drop a nuclear bomb yesterday and the stimulus had failed, we would have been down 3,000 points. So the Federal Reserve at this point looks panicked. Did you not see the headline yesterday in the weekly options brief in Solo Amazon? Fed will do whatever it takes, no limit to our buying and stuff like that. The Fed isn't doing this, guys. This is trading. I have like 62 unread messages on my other group me that has hedge fund managers, institutional guys, large family offices. I don't mean family office like my family office. I mean billion-dollar family office guys. They're trading this, folks. This is a trade. Do not. There's nothing other than this. This isn't investing right now, and I'm warning you. Don't do what I'm doing, folks. If you don't know what you're doing, and I hate day trading. I don't want to be sitting here right now. If I wasn't talking to you guys, I would have added all those bearish positions, and I'd be outside avoiding everybody. I'd be working in the yard, throwing my daughter into the pool, playing with the dogs. I'm warning you, folks. If you can't stand to look at losses, when is it a loss? When you close it. When is it a profit? When you close it, right? So if you're looking at red in your portfolio right now on bearish positions and you're worried, you have no idea what you're doing, and you shouldn't have done it. If you're looking at bearish positions right now and you go back to your commit criteria that you wrote down and you said, man, not only do I still believe those things, I believe them more, you add to the bearish positions. This is not for the faint of heart. I'm telling you, based on some of the questions I'm seeing, you're not reading what you're supposed to be reading. JW, can't thank you enough, Wiz, for your willingness to babysit us. Now, I think this is great. Well, JW, hopefully you can make a little bit more scratch and get into the Afterburner group. I literally take a lot of what goes out on that thread and I just I throw it over the fence to the Afterburner members. We got good stuff going on. Anyway. What else do I have to do? I agree with Wiz. Vol is not down as compared to the market. So let me thank you for bringing that up, whoever just brought that up. Ladies and gentlemen, you probably, I think I can count on one hand the number of live trade briefs we've been in lately where I've had the VIX up. First of all, the market's up 1,600 points right now. 1,600. Why isn't the VIX down 20, 30, 40%? Because nobody believes this. This is called a hold your nose rally. Or this is trading, folks. There are people actually using this pullback in the VIX right now, which isn't that big of a pullback based on a 1,600 point rally. Why? Because they're getting long volatility right now. I'm not going to repeat what the governor just said. We watched it live. If you weren't stunned by the tears in that guy's eyes and the hell that he knows is coming to New York, you're an idiot. If you listened to Donald Trump yesterday, Fauci's not on stage because I don't care for his attitude. This is a business. We're going to get back to work. I'm going to rewind that and grab a screenshot of that. He said not one American would choose the economy over somebody living or dying. That was a spear right into Donald Trump's forehead. I can't wait to see the press conference today from the president. If I'm a reporter right now, my skin is falling off. I can't wait to ask the president that about Andrew Cuomo, what he said today. Mr. President, clearly you're taking a businessman approach to this and you're risking people's lives. What do you say to Governor Cuomo? Ooh. Did you hear what he did too? He's like, we need 30,000 ventilators. And when we're done with them and we get through this, I'll drive them to California and other places. That was leadership, folks. Robert, let me see if I can share these right now. Robert is, let me share this, man. This is my mother. She's bald. She's in New York City getting cancer treatment. The last person in the face of this earth I want in New York City, a coronavirus hotspot, is my mom getting immunotherapy and chemo. It's breaking my fucking heart to see my mom like this. It's awful. That's my mom. It's heartbreaking for me. Robert, where'd you? Here it is. So Robert, everybody look in the over at where it says training materials. I don't know, guys. I don't want to. I'll end up like Andrew Cuomo and getting emotional here. Look over in handouts. There's anatomy of a trade, VXX versus VIX. There's calendar spreads, checklist, and the trade plan. Here's what we need to do. So Robert Metzger is a fantastic Top Gun Options member. He's got a fantastic family. I met his son a couple weeks ago, and you want to talk about putting a ladder down? He's putting a ladder down for all you guys. So let me open this. And hey, reminder, tonight at 7 Eastern, we have full throttle session, last one, 8. Before full throttle training session 8, you must, by tonight, have watched sessions 1 through 7. If you haven't done this yet, you're a failure. I'm not joking, folks. There's session 1 all the way up to session 7. You should have watched these things at least 2 or 3 times by now. Each one, and you should have a notepad full of stuff. You also should have by now downloaded and read through every manual. If you showed up and you haven't watched the videos and you haven't watched these, used these checklists and workbooks and buried your face in them, and you're just placing trades, you deserve to lose every penny. And I mean that. That's you showing up to Penson Naval Air Station and running out to the flight line and jumping in a Hornet. You deserve to die. I mean it. Get in your manuals, get in the training, and then you can start getting into a paper trading account, and then you can start firing real trades. I don't want to hear anything about, if you're one of these people right now, I'm telling you, we have it's not humor, but we have so in naval aviation, folks, or fighter aviation in the Air Force, if we have a buddy who dies because of something they just couldn't have seen, right? A mechanical issue. It's very rare that we have a buddy that dies from something that just, you know what? Then we go to the officers club and we cry, we mourn them, we laugh, we break shit. If we have a buddy who dies because they were stupid, because they screwed up in the airplane, or they died because of something they should have known but didn't, we will still mourn, we'll put our uniforms on, we'll salute, and then we'll go to the officers club and pound the shit out of them. Fighter aviation is a self-cleaning oven, we'll say. Sucks for his wife. He was a good dude. He had a good bar act. He deserved to die. You think that's pretty dark? We have to say that, because if we don't, we're admitting our life is not in our hands. Oh well. And I'm applying that methodology to trading. If you lose money because of doing something stupid, you deserve to lose every penny of it. Because I'm ignoring shit in the chat box today, and I'm giving you this speech. Now, let me get back to Robert. Many of you, I can tell from your questions, Fish, I've watched these videos over and over for 8 years. So here's a blank one. Let me see if I can upload that. You know what? I'm not. I'll do it tonight. I got to go, man. I got a lot of shit to do. But this is his kind of trade plan that he came up with. You have got to write these out. He's got everything on here. If you're not doing this for every trade, what's my strategic mindset? What's my commit criteria? What are the threats? This is fantastic. I'll give you the blank one. You have got to pick up a pen and do this. If you are in trades right now and you didn't go through a trade plan, again, you deserve to die. I will take respectful truth over artificial harmony any day of the week. And here's one that he has filled out. I'll give you these. Look at this. God bless Robert, man. Guy's a fantastic American. Like I said, his son is doing the Lord's work. He's an operator, and we'll leave it at that. Look at this. If you're not doing this, you're going to fail. No, there isn't an Excel sheet of this. I would not, listen to me, guys. It's a good question. Is there an Excel sheet version of this? Do not do it in Excel or Word. Why? This is me. This thing right here, I keep Office Depot or Staples in business. There's my pen. Good pen was in there. I had this at the beach the other day. That's why. There is something mental about picking up a pen, engaging your brain housing unit, putting this pen to paper and saying, here's why I'm going to commit $5,000 to this trade. And you write down 3 to 5 sentences. Here's where I'm going to get out of this trade for max profit. And here's where I'm going to bail out of this trade for max loss. From your brain to your hand to the paper. So in 2 weeks from now, when you're like, oh shit, this trade's moving against me, where's my trade plan? blah, blah, blah. So you read your own words. To me, and you could be different, whoever asked this question, to me, reading my own handwriting is me talking back to me. Looking at an Excel sheet is a booger eater sheet. It's impersonal. When I've tried that in the past, like a Word document or an Excel sheet, it looks impersonal. I didn't write that shit. Who snuck into my computer and wrote that shit? I'm staying in this trade and now I'm broke. There's something about reading your own words back to you that goes, dude, you said you'd be out of this at this point. Listen to you, me. Does that make sense? I would not do an Excel sheet or a Word document. However, I am the pilot in command of my own F-18 and trading. That's how I do it. You want an Excel sheet or a Word doc? Go crazy. I'm not sitting here and making one for you. Maybe you can do it and share it with your fellow members. All right, way freaking too long. All right, I don't even want to put Schumer up there. He's a human PC species. All right, I'll upload these to the thing, and we'll talk about this at 7 o'clock tonight. All right, I gotta go. Market up $1,500. We're in a holding pattern for good news about a trade deal, and then some of you who don't know what you're doing think that this trade deal, I can't believe I said trade deal, stimulus deal. Whatever the math is going to be, folks, it is not going to be enough. We watched the Como press conference live, and that was the end of the Trump presidency, in my opinion. It's over with. The guy last night, as I sat by the pool and live chatted on the Afterburner thread, I'm like, my God, the man is coming down to a coin flip. It's either going to be the market, the country opening, or people dying. Andrew Como, the president did two absolutes last night. Como came right up the middle, man. 52 blue on one. Set, hut. He went right up the middle of Trump and said, we can do both. Epic. Buy the rumor, sell the news. There is a world of time between now and Friday. And on Thursday morning at 8:30, we're going to get the worst jobless claims, weekly claims since the Depression. You think the market's going to go up on those numbers? All right, I got to go. This is going to take about 30 to 45 minutes to render this replay because we talked the whole time and I've gone way too long. Any other final questions, concerns? Oh, by the way, smart remarks. Hi, Wiz, great work. Thanks for spending the time with us. Just rejoined the squadron, should have never left. How do we get the invite for tonight's session? It'll be emailed to you. I thought Trump said don't do a jobs report. No, I've never heard that. I will post those sheets tonight in training, guys. Over in your little chat box over here, it says handouts. There's already 3 of them in there. I'm going to upload them now. All right, guys, I got to go. Win, the Wiz News Network. Go Army, beat Navy. JR, you're fired. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless. I'll see you tonight at 7. We'll see you.